All right, so do one of you guys want to do the intro this week?
I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't know when I'm ever gonna have the energy to do the intro, but it's not gonna be tonight.
Welcome to the Practical Nonsense Podcast. I am Danny. I'm joined by Josh and Jacob. I didn't wait for either of them to speak because fuck them. This is the podcast today.
That's fair. I wasn't gonna speak when you said my name, anyways.
I,
But
I was gonna say hello, but fuck it, it's fine. I like what you did better.
it was a good intro. I liked it.
So,
So,
oh, you
in keeping with the tradition,
Yes.
as is now tradition, Josh, what have you played this past week?
I'm so glad you asked. This week, I don't know if I talked about it the last time. Well, not the last podcast, but the last time I was on. Because I skipped a week. But the last time I was on, I think I mentioned that I was playing through Killer 7, and that I was also planning to start Judgment.
Yeah,
Um,
you were going through the Suda 51 library.
Yes, I've put that somewhat on hold for the moment because um I can't actually remember why. Oh, because I want to add the silver case to it. I've decided that I'm going to play through the silver case.
Okay.
So I want to get that added to my library. But also, um, in the meantime, I have started on Judgment, which, uh, do you guys know what Judgment is?
I'm
Nope.
By any-
vaguely aware of what Judgment is. I don't know about Jacob.
I do not.
So it's basically about, I think like a year or two ago, the studio that makes the Yakuza games, they released a different game. It's kind of sort of like a side story, kind of its own thing. It's sort of weird. Um, Called Judge Eyes, and when it came over to the US, it was localized as Judgment. Um, and it is a very strange game because there's a lot of stuff it does really, really well, and there's a lot of really cool adjustments and improvements made to the like Yakuza formula, but I'm not sure if I like it all that much.
Right.
And I couldn't really explain it. I think it really just boils down to the combat is the first foremost thing that I just don't really enjoy. Um, it's got there's a new guy since it's like a side story. Um, and he has a really cool like kung fu, almost Jeet Kune Do fighting style, and he's really acrobatic. Like he can jump over opponents and jump off the walls and stuff. But it just never really the combat never really feels like it comes together in a satisfying way like it did in Yakuza 0 or even like Yakuza 6, which I know when you talk about this, a lot of people point to the new engine they're using called the Dragon engine, which is
Right.
one they started using in Yakuza 6. And like I feel it with Yakuza 6, like the combat isn't as much fun as it was in like in Yakuza 0 or even Kiwami. But man, this time it just doesn't feel good like at all. Just like pressing buttons in Judgment is not fun. It's
is it a situation where it's like a severe delay or like
So there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that. I don't know. So actually, now I'm thinking back to it. You've only played Yakuza 0, and I don't think Yakuza 0 had this. But in other Yakuza games, there's a system where you basically one of the things you can upgrade is the speed of your combo.
okay?
And since I'm just starting out on it, I don't know if that's what makes it feel really slow and unresponsive. But yeah, like you press a button and it just doesn't like feel like it just doesn't feel like you're getting a lot
It,
of
feel, it
feedback.
feels like you're playing. It feels like your TV is almost on like the wrong like AV mode or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's just like weird like feedback issues or something. I don't know. Also, the heat system is gone. They replaced it with an EX system, and that system is nowhere near as fun. Um, I will say this about the combat in Kiwami, or not Kiwami, in Judgment, is that it makes me appreciate all the little tiny stuff that the Yakuza games in the past did really well. Like, I wouldn't say that I really appreciated the heat system all that much until after I played Judgment, when I played a game that didn't have it, and
Right.
just and had like a more like the EX system. The biggest problem is that it charges up really slow, but it's also just kind of boring. I don't know. And it made me not having the heat system really made me appreciate the heat system more because it made me realize that the heat system is basically like a style meter from Devil May Cry, but the farther it builds up, the more stuff you get to do. And in
Oh
hindsight,
yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's actually a real shame to hear that because I think the heat system is one of the coolest things about Yakuza. Just
Uh-huh.
being just being able to gauge like how well you're doing in combat, and then getting to
Mhm.
use that as a reward, like to do more damage or to do different moves or whatever. But
And
yeah,
you would
no, that's
think
a real shame.
it's you'd think I would hate the heat system too because you basically only use it on heat moves. Um, but and I usually don't. I'm not a huge fan of like cutting down or like go pressing a button and going into this elaborate like cutscene in gameplay.
Hmm.
Like I actually, I've been talking about it, but it's a problem I have with some fighting games like Street Fighter, the new Street Fighter games like 4 and 5. I think their super moves are all just kind of boring and take way too long to do. It all just feels like everyone's super move in those games is just kind of you press the button and then they do a kick, and if the kick hits, it plays like a 5 to 10 second long cutscene of them
The
doing damage.
the problem where did that start? Was that MK9?
I don't know if it started at MK9, but
It's
that's the
definitely
earliest that I
the
can think of.
Yeah, that's definitely the most memorable one, which was cool for MK9 and then immediately uncool for the 36 fighting games that immediately copied that system.
So, man, I remember. I'll get back to talking about Judgment here in a second because I do have more I want to say about it. Um, but I remember when MK11 was being revealed, and one of the things they showed off was how they changed the X-ray system, and I thought it was really cool because basically what it was like a critical hit system where certain hits, it wasn't like these big elaborate animations anymore. It was just if you got like a counter hit or if you fulfilled a certain prerequisite, it would do the little X-ray animation on the hit you landed, and I thought that was really cool. And then like the next thing they showed was
An
the
elaborate X-ray system.
yeah the well they just moved the X-ray system over to that other system, and then they replaced it with like a bloody counter or something. I can't even remember
Man,
what it
I'm
was.
gonna be honest. I'm big lost because I watched the same reveal you did and then immediately lost fucking interest. I was like, wow, that's cool. Thanks, Mortal Kombat.
No, I lost interest with Mortal Kombat 11 pretty quickly too. But I think I remember like when it first revealed and I first saw some stuff for it, I was somewhat interested, and then like the immediate next batch of info I saw, I was like, I'm out. This doesn't look too terribly interesting.
Yeah, I
And I know
don't.
some and I know some people love that game, and I'm not gonna like jump on them for liking that game, but it lost me is all I'll say about it. I won't say it's good or bad. I will say it lost me. And I will say that there's some stuff that I just do not like. I think is a bad design decision in that game. But
Right,
whatever. I mean, a lot of my favorite fighting games you could say the same thing about.
right.
But going back to Judgment, yeah, so the combat is weird. Attacks like will miss for no real reason. The like targeting just isn't as good as it was, and it just doesn't like again, it just doesn't feel as good this time around. Um, but and I want to say I don't think that this is a bad game either, though. Like, I actually think it's a really good game, but I just don't think it has.
Let me pitch this for you. Is it like, because what I'm picturing in my head right now is just a Yakuza game, just a little under done.
It's not underdone. That's the thing. Is it's not that it's underdone. It's that it's really experimental, and there are a lot of really cool changes too. That like okay, so it has a new like friendship system, right? Which is basically it kind of sort of replaces the
like friendship side missions.
Yeah, kind of sort of. The big difference though is that if you meet somebody and you complete their like friendship quest, there's a chance that you will just encounter them as an NPC on the streets. And they will like, depending on what type of character they are, they will like throw you a health item or they will join in the fight. And it's kind of cool.
Oh, there was another game I want to say that had a system kind of like that. I don't remember what the fuck it's called off the top of my head right now though.
It wasn't
I
don't know why.
I think
I know
it's
for a fact. Oh,
like I think it's an RPG. My buddy Zach was playing this this game where there's like a similar system to where you can meet people and occasionally you can like summon them in combat and stuff like that.
Well, it's not even a summon. Okay, so a cool thing about the combat I will add is that the Dragon engine, the big thing they changed is that there are no loading screens in Kamurocho anymore. There are hardly any. So, like, fights, you know how in Yakuza 0, whenever you get into a fight, it'll play a short cutscene, and then, like, civilians will surround you, and that's kind of your boxed-in area?
Right.
That's not there anymore. If you get into a fight, you can just, A, run away, or B, like, bring the fight into another part of the city, which is neat. And also, you can throw people into buildings. So you could, like, throw people into a convenience store and fight them in the convenience store if you want to. Like, through the window.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
It is pretty cool. That was in Yakuza 7, and I thought it was really cool in that game, too. And it's just kind of carried over into Judgment.
7 or 6?
Yakuza 6, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
But yeah, it was, so that was there. It's there again now, but with the friendship system being what it is, it means that you can, like, if you have a friend around in the city, you can run to where they are and they'll help you out. And it's kind of neat, and there's other stuff too like that makes it cool. But what the problem that I have with this system in this game is that every possible friend that you can like interact with is on the minimap from basically the moment that the mechanic is introduced. They are presented on the minimap at all times in the game. And it kind of makes it feel more like a chore now than just kind of finding the side quests in Yakuza 0.
Right.
Because the side quests in the Yakuza games, and I keep bringing up Yakuza 0 because it's my favorite one out of all of them.
Right.
And it's the one that you've played too. But finding a side quest in Yakuza was kind of really special because you didn't know it was there. You just found it naturally by exploring the city. Whereas now now this game kind of sort of has a Ubisoft problem where all of the side content just feels like a fucking chore that you kind of have to just, you're doing the rounds, you're kind of, okay, I'm going to go eat at this eat at this restaurant, and then I'm going to go over here. Oh, and the combat, even though the combat isn't fun, it's really easy, and there aren't a whole lot of enemy encounters anymore. So and the problem with that is that all the restaurants, you can't eat if you have full health. And if you can't eat, you can't talk. Since most of the stores in Kamurocho are restaurants, if you're at full health, you can't interact with most of the friendships around the city. And so that means you kind of have to just run around the city for a bit, trying to find a group of punks who will punch you in the face so you can go drink a cappuccino and learn about how the
caffeine works.
about how caffeine works, and learn about how Mr. the barista there has a crush on the barista who works at night. So when you come back at night, you gotta go find another group of thugs to punch you in the face so you can drink a cappuccino with the female barista, and then then you can tell her, hey, that guy who works in the morning, he's a pretty cool guy, maybe you should hit him up. And then you get friendship.
That sounds like a lot of getting punched in the face for getting somebody else a girlfriend.
I mean, that's how Yakuza works, Jacob.
That is
Like
generally...
I know that. Believe me, I know that. All I'm saying is I've been sitting here for almost 18 minutes, and that's my one takeaway.
Oh, I'm sorry if this is super not. If my review of Yakuza Judgment is super not interesting to you. I had noticed that you hadn't said anything. I was just gonna let you not say anything.
Dude, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just left the room for like 5 minutes and like got a snack and a drink.
I didn't notice that you left the room. I noticed that you weren't speaking, and I thought you were being respectful.
Well,
but
I was doing that. Well, it's been 18 minutes, and I only left for 5. So,
all right.
5 minus 18, for the rest of those, I was being respectful.
Right, but that's only a 66, and that's barely a passing grade.
Got me my college degree.
Well, I was on the dean's list once.
I have never
And I'm
been
very proud of you
inside
for
a
it.
college.
So you have 3 very different yet wildly mediocre college careers on display.
Wait, no, that's not true. That's a lie. I take it back. I've been inside Murray State.
But you've never been invited to a college. By the college.
By the college. There we go. I was about to say, Jacob invited me all the time.
Alright, so if I can say one more thing about Judgment, it's another thing that's kind of weird about the game. And I'm going to keep this short. But you know how in Yakuza there's like, it's a super serious story, right? And then there'll be intercut with scenes of like off the wall, like Japanese variety show hilarity.
Right.
I think they got a different writer. I think that like it's a guy who wrote a book. And the game is based on the book.
I don't read.
And yeah, neither do I. Well, I especially don't read Japanese books, so I don't know anything about this book, so I don't know how closely it's based on it. I will say that the tone for this game is much more serious this time around. It feels like it's just the hyper serious parts of the Yakuza games. And it doesn't go, it still has like upbeat comedy moments, but they're never as like off the wall, like ridiculous, like going into a bowling alley and being told that you'll get a turkey if you bowl a turkey, and then when you bowl a turkey they just bring out a live chicken and you have to, and then the chicken becomes a manager for one of your businesses. Like there's at least as far as I've gotten, and I've played a good few hours, there's just none of that. Right. And I don't know if it's bad, but it is like weird.
It's definitely
something
different.
that I kind of sort of miss.
My understanding of Judgment is it's just a Yakuza game, but less of the stuff that makes a Yakuza game a Yakuza game. I think the audience that they were trying to reach with this, like some of the Yakuza audience overlaps, but I think they were trying to go for like a more gritty, like real.
So you see, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because like I said at the beginning, it feels just a bit more. It doesn't feel like they were necessarily trying to make the Yakuza games grittier. It just feels like weird, like very experimental. And a lot of the stuff that's in this game, I would love to be in a proper like Yakuza game. But there's a lot of stuff, like just the kind of the core combat and the exploration and stuff just doesn't pan out, and that's kind of a shame because it works so well in the other games.
Mm-hmm.
I would still check it out. Like I said, even though I'm painting it as this like really bad game, but even though I don't particularly I don't like the combat as much, and I think the story is kind of flat, I still think that game has like more personality than like any like EA, Ubisoft, any of those types of games that have come out in the past few years. It's still like a good game. It's just kind of weird at some spots, especially if you've played previous Yakuza games.
Right.
But again, it has cool shit.
Yeah.
And it's also you might want to check it out, Danny, because it might actually be the game you want to check out next because it's so cool seeing the evolution of Kamurocho from like 1988 when Yakuza 0 is taking place to 30 years later in 1918 or in 2018 when this game takes place. It's almost like a completely different city. It's really cool.
Yeah,
but it's the same city. It's just like how they evolved this city is really smart and entertaining.
That's good to hear. That was another driving factor for me playing the Yakuza games, just not only to see the story and the characters, but to see how their world evolves.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already a big leap from 0 to Kiwami. It's not like a ginormous like everything is different, but like enough has changed.
That's also kind of the point of the story, though, is because like Kiryu goes into the hole for a decade, I think. So when he comes out, everything's different.
Right.
But yeah, it's a really it keeps evolving that way.
Yeah. No. Whenever I get my PS4 back, it's on my list of shit to play. So.
It's worth checking out. I don't know if it's I mean, I haven't beaten it, and I haven't really played. I don't think I've gotten too terribly far into it yet.
Right.
But it's worth checking out. I don't know if it's necessarily worth like doing a full playthrough of, though.
Okay.
And that was my review of Not Yakuza Judgment.
All right. Well, what have you been playing, Danny?
What have I been playing?
Yeah.
This week, I've been playing more Call of Duty.
Alrighty.
I've been really grinding to get shit off of the battle pass and knocking out like season challenges to get different weapon blueprints. I'm at like the very end of one right now, which is driving me.
Which Call of Duty are you playing?
Modern Warfare.
Oh, the newest.
I'm actually playing all of them all of the time.
Oh,
but
okay. All right.
The one I've been sinking the most time into is the new Modern Warfare.
Okay. Because the last time we talked, I thought you guys were playing World at War again together. But I guess that's changed over the past 2 weeks.
Me and him
You've
still
expanded your horizons.
Me and him still play a lot of World at War.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going through like these like what is it, like playlists, I guess you could say. It's just like a compilation of a bunch of maps, and we've just been downloading like random maps from these like different packs and just seeing what secrets they hold. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, and I've also been playing more Gunfire Reborn from the last episode, which is a border
Reborn.
Yes, this is a Borderlands-esque co-op roguelike, and it's really fun. It plays extremely well. Like, even the online aspect plays extremely fucking well for being an early access game. Oh, excuse me. It is very fun to play with friends. I highly recommend fucking Gunfire Reborn to anybody who's looking for a Borderlands or a roguelike experience to share with their friends. It is... it's nothing like super special. You just go around, you shoot the guy. A boss happens sometimes. Beat the boss.
You say it's like almost like a Borderlands like Schluter type deal?
Sort of, kind of. It's like a roguelike, but there's elements of Borderlands. Like there's different randomized like loot So like,
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, a lot of Borderlands elements are kind of roguelike elements, aren't they? So,
yeah, I guess that's true.
but I mean,
It's definitely worth checking out. There's 3 different characters. I've only unlocked 2 of them, but both of them are fun to play. The last character, which is this like bird, apparently he's really good for solo play, but I've seen him used really good for team play as well. Check it out. Everybody should check out Gunfire Reborn. It's like $10, and it's fun with your friends.
$10 and fun with your friends. Who could ask for more?
Right, Jacob, what horrible shit have you played?
Well,
what war crimes have you seen?
Man, it's actually real funny that you should word it like that. We'll get to why it's really funny you should word it like that. That'll be the last game on this list. So I've still been playing a shitload of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger on the Switch. I've kind of put my Bioshock replay on hold. Earlier today, I streamed
Civrev?
Yeah, Civrev, and up until the matchmaking components decided to be complete ass candy, Sabrina was kicking my ass.
Jacob, can I ask you? I want to ask you 2 things before you move on.
Yeah.
First off, you have a computer that is capable of playing video games, right?
Yes.
Why are you still playing Civrev then?
Because I like it.
But I understand that you like it, but okay, no, that's fine. I'm not going to be that guy. Who points out that there are much better Civilization
I'll be that guy.
Okay.
Hey, Jacob.
All right, Danny, take
Jacob.
the wheel.
Jacob.
What?
Why can't you be fucking normal?
Because, okay, Jacob, it bothers me because what Civrev is...
Listen, when Civrev when Civrev and everything that it is in its arguable simplicity in comparison to the rest... Yeah, well, when I juxtapose it with the other game I've been playing this week, it's going to blow your fucking mind and you're not going to want to be my friend anymore.
It's a Nintendo DS port of a game that released on the PC and then was ported to the Xbox 360, which you now play with your girlfriend on your Xbox One, instead of just playing good Civilization games on your PC together. I just don't understand why it has to be this serendipitous.
Because she doesn't have a PC.
Oh, that's actually a really good answer.
How did you not know?
That actually like shot me down like immediately.
I feel like I just watched that one fucking Nelly Noir video where Cole
looks like I made a mistake.
Goes on for 45 minutes slamming one guy, and he's like, "You can't prove I wasn't there."
I know the exact video you're talking about because I think we kind of bonded over that video, Danny. That was like the first video we exchanged between each other.
Looks like I made a mistake.
Looks like I made a mistake. That game's a fucking treasure. I love LA Noire. It's so jank and busted, but it's also really good.
Yes.
And it's one of the only times that like Hollywood like actors did really well in a
video game space. Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy who plays Cole and a lot of those guys, he did, but him particularly, he did really, really good. Cole's one of my like favorite video game protagonists of all time. And a lot of that goes to, I can't remember what the actor's name is, but a lot of that goes to him.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Speaking of police and detectives, the other game I've been playing a shitload of this week is Disco Elysium.
Oh, really?
Yes. I can play real games, Josh.
I have heard that game is fucking incredible.
It is fucking incredible.
I have also heard
so
that
fucking
it is really good. But
well
I also hear it makes you an American traitor. So.
Listen, man.
Shout out One Angry Gamer.
Man, don't shout out him.
No, I want to be on that. I want to be on that American traitors list.
Man, I don't want to deal with the repercussions of talking about this. Nobody watches this show, so there won't be any, but in the off chance.
I don't actually know what you guys are talking about.
Put me on the treasonous list, baby!
Oh.
There's this guy on Twitter whose brain is the size of a small pebble. And he decides who American treasonous are based on what video games they like or some stupid shit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So, well, it's even worse because I don't think he made that list until he made that list when
I'm pretty sure it was like the first, like the very first Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, when the protests started.
Like this year.
Hold up, I'm finding the list.
Please do.
I'm finding the list.
My favorite are people that are on there. He just took sorted internet personalities and anybody who supported the Black Lives Matter movement in like any capacity as an American treasonist. And my favorite part about that is he would take people who are literally not even American. Like, I would say probably 25 to 30% of his list are people who aren't even American.
But anyways,
all right, the list
I can't wait to see the list. But yeah, Disco Elysium.
It's gigantic.
Josh, I don't think you posted that on the right one.
Oh, did I not? Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I got you, Josh.
But yeah, okay, Disco Elysium, fucking great game, hilarious, incredibly well written, and man, I don't feel like I'm smart enough to give a proper review of it, of just how good it actually is. I'm fucking loving it so far.
I will say this: you've probably sold me on the game then, because I've been meaning to check it out. I don't really usually like. It's very like.
It is 100% not the type of game that I would normally find myself playing, but there's something about it.
I've heard it's very like tabletop, right?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of heard, and I usually don't go for those games, and I don't really know why, but I've heard that this one in particular is really good. And basically anyone whose opinion I give a shit about, and also yours, Jacob, they've told me that it's really they've said nothing but good things about it, but so hearing you probably pushed me over the edge, and I'm probably actually gonna buy that like right now.
Good, you should. It's
just to highlight a particular American treasonist.
I will say though, it is there. It is a shitload of reading. Like, there is a lot of like spoken dialogue, but there's also a lot of reading, which makes it even more impressive that I really like it, because I'm not big on reading.
This is
reading
true.
That bothered me. I don't know.
It's the reading that bothered Jacob. I can fucking tell you.
There's just well, there's so much to learn about the game and the world that it's set in and everything that is and has gone on.
Yeah, but okay, I can understand that, but at the same time, I just like that the option is there should you want to know more.
Right.
Because I'm assuming.
I will say, the other thing I will say, Josh, before you get into it, is I do get the feeling, like where I'm at in the game right now, I'm getting the feeling that it does certainly have replay value, because you can like build like different kinds of characters with like different skill sets and do different runs. But I do think it's one of those games where you can only truly experience it for the first time once.
Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of. I feel like that complaint can be lodged at pretty much any game. I feel like, what game can you really play through? Well, I guess Nier maybe. But other than that, I can't really think of any game that, like... Chrono Trigger, maybe?
Danny, what are you doing?
Are you in good hands?
Oh, I didn't
guess
know
what?
This
That's
was.
not even the catchphrase for State Farm.
So I didn't realize that's what you were posting. That's where they are on the list.
I like that Reddit is labeled as
Reddit
communism.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He also has like
Where?
what their crime is according to his like Judge Dredd.
No, this is awesome. We're gonna get put on the list.
We're not important enough to be on the list, Jacob.
It looks like everyone's important enough to be on the list.
Okay, one more. There's just one more that I want to highlight. We're getting a little bit unchronological here.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Thank you, One Angry Gamer.
Oh.
All right.
I need to look this guy up. This sounds like somebody I've encountered before.
I guarantee you've seen his Twitter through osmosis.
I really think I fucking have. Hang on.
Here, while we're banging, is there anything else you wanted to say about Disco Elysium, Jacob?
No, I think I got pretty much everything that I really wanted to say out of the way. Everybody should. It's God, I don't know. I want to say it's how much fucking is it normally? Like $40? I don't know. It's a really good game.
$29.99.
Okay, well it's
no, it's normally $40, but it's $29.99 until the 5th. Okay. So probably until after this goes out.
Yeah, by the time this comes up, it'll be back to normal price, but it's totally worth it.
I'll have to check that out as well because it does look quite good. But while Jacob is looking at fucking One Angry Gamer HD,
I can't believe you opened that can of beans, Danny.
I'm surprised you didn't know who One Angry Gamer was.
I'm also kind of surprised.
Here.
You shouldn't have invoked this.
It's like the start of the month, right? It's literally the 3rd now, technically. As we're recording this, so here's a list of games that are coming out this month. And please tell me why the hypest game on this list is the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster.
Because the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster are like the hypest things to happen this year.
Well, that's true. September seems to be the month of putting a fresh coat of paint on video games.
I don't know anything about Crusader Kings. I see that Crusader Kings 3 is on this list. I don't know anything about that series, but I do know some people who apparently they are into those games. And apparently Crusader Kings 3 is not very good. And I feel bad for them. It always sucks when something that you're like passionate about releases a new iteration and it's just not great.
Right.
Serious Sam 4 comes out this month?
It sure does.
Yeah.
Really? So I didn't know it was coming. I could have swore it was coming out like
No, that's not what they're calling it. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning?
Re-Reckoning, yeah, baby, let's go.
What they are calling the Kingdoms of Amalur remaster.
Why is Kingdoms of Amalur getting a remaster? Who asked for that?
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is sick. And who was it? Fucking Kurt Schilling bankrupt the state of Rhode Island to make it. So Rhode Island needs all the money they can get from Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Okay, Josh
I knew about that.
Actually, completely 100% right. There's nothing else to say. Yeah. Kingdoms of Amalur is really good. It's a shame what Mr. Schill did.
I played in Kurt Schilling's fucking baseball league when I was like 6 years old. And then he went and he erased the state of Rhode Island.
I'm actually looking forward to Re-Reckoning purely because I don't think enough people played that game.
Because Kingdoms of Amalur is a really good game.
Yeah, it was really
for no other reason than that. Really, is why I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know if it's going to reach a new audience this time around, but it's a really good game, and now I have the opportunity at some point to play it again.
What the fuck is Redneck Ed Astro Monster Show?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Man, I didn't realize a lot of games were coming out this month. I thought they were coming out much later. So I didn't realize that Baldur's Gate 3 was coming out.
Redneck Ed is, by the way.
So does this mean on September 18th, when Crysis Remastered comes out, we all get to make the jokes about our PCs again?
Yes.
Yes, obviously.
Actually, you're already like, I think the system specs came out, like, or the game specs came out.
In theory, you can already ask, does it run Crysis?
So yeah, we're like a few months late to the joke, but yes, you absolutely can make that joke now. In fact, I think it's somewhat better that you're late to the joke.
Hey, can we, real quick, can we talk about how time is a flat fucking circle? Because it went, can it run Quake 2, to can it run Crysis, to can it run Quake 2, back to can it run Crysis.
And of course, they're at the very top of that list. Gave me whiplash. So I don't know if you guys were paying attention to people who were playing the Avengers beta.
I was.
I
really
actively went out of my way to know nothing about that game.
Here's the minimum system requirements for Crysis Remastered, followed by the recommended system requirements, and then we can all ask ourselves if our PCs can run Crysis.
I don't have to ask. I already know that it can.
I know for a fact that my PC can run Crysis. But can it run Doom, though?
Both of them, no, for me.
Getting back to what I was talking about, to the Avengers. So I had a really interesting experience with the Avengers over the past week, where, like I said, I'd been following people when the beta came out not a while ago. I saw all of the troubles that were with that game. I was looking at that, and I haven't been big on the game since it got announced. But I looked at that footage and I was like, oh no, that game doesn't look like it is running very particularly well, and it looks like there are some issues. Fortunately for the fine folks at Square Enix, this is only a beta, and so I, the consumer, will assume that by the time this game releases, those issues will be fixed. When does it release? It releases in 2 days? Well, now we have an issue.
I don't know how anybody could possibly be surprised.
I'm... God, you shared the fucking Dave Grohl Everlong hand.
No, that's...
Again, didn't you?
That's...
Danny, did you share the wrong thing?
No, I shared the right thing.
No, he shared the right thing.
I figured. I wanted to make sure.
I like that, because when Josh said that, all he saw was the text, right? He didn't click on it to see the image, but he guessed exactly what it was.
So I don't know what the deal is with Kamala. I know a lot of people really like her, and I haven't been exposed to any form of media that she's in. But
wait,
again,
who?
to me as an outside observer, she just kind of seems lame.
Here's the thing, right? The bitch for the new Marvel game, Ms. Marvel, Camilla.
Don't call her a bitch. Don't call her a bitch.
Oh. Okay, so Dave Grohl in the new Marvel Avengers game.
This makes much more sense. I thought you were talking about Kamala Harris for some fucking reason.
Kamala Khan.
That's her name, yeah.
I've made that mistake several times.
I know it's not fucking Kamala Harris.
I haven't been exposed to any media with Kamala Harris in it. I don't get the appeal.
Hey, holy shit! That reminds me. Have you guys? Let me find this. This is incredible. Where do I keep my tabs? Trust me, this will be worth it. This is going somewhere.
If Kamala Harris was in the new Avengers game,
Not
could.
Really, no. I'm trying to.
Would it be less? Would it be more? Would it be more or less fun?
Well, it depends on. Depends on.
Okay, a monkey's paw curls. Let's say it's more fun, but every 5 minutes or so, you have to play a mini game where you have to play as Iron Man under Kamala Harris's orders to put trans women in men's prisons.
So wait, here's the real
Where the fuck is this?
Here's the real question, though. So Kamala Harris gets put in the Avengers game, right? Is it completely straight-laced, or is it
propaganda?
No, I'm wondering if it's going to be played for laughs, like Bill Clinton in. He was in what's the basketball game?
Oh, NBA Jam.
Jam, yeah, NBA Jam. He was also in a boxing game, wasn't he?
I think so.
Knockout or something like that.
I think so. Actually,
here it is. So speaking of Miss Harris and Mr. Joe Biden, did you see that you can get fucking Biden ad campaigns in ad campaign signs in Animal Crossing New Horizons?
I wish that I didn't see that.
I did see. So wait, hold up.
Here,
are those officially endorsed
by by Joe Biden?
Because yes, are those made by.
Here,
okay,
yes.
That's
here.
Yes, no, they are.
Let me get to the right one. Here you go. I'll let you guys take a gander at this article in the New York Times.
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, it's straight fucking endorsed, by the way.
I don't know why. I've seen this photo 9 times in the past 2 days.
It's never getting old.
Well, no, the thing that hit me this time is Joe Biden's giant fucking aviators. For some reason, the idea that Joe Biden gave his Animal Crossing avatar huge solid gold aviators.
I'm having fucking
to me.
nightmares thinking about Joe Biden fucking invading people's islands, sniffing all their villagers.
Wait, are a pair of fucking aviators one of the signs?
Yeah. Hang on, wait. Let me find. Let's see. One sign.
Something I didn't know about.
An excerpt from the article. The campaign said it had made 4 signs available on the platform Tuesday, the day autumn started in the Nintendo Switch game. One sign bears the Biden-Harris logo. Others say Team Joe, and Joe with the E rendered in pride colors. The 4th carries a stylized image of Mr. Biden's signature aviator sunglasses.
Signature?
Yeah, the funny thing about that is I've never fucking seen him wearing aviators.
Yeah, when was that been a signature
So
thing?
I've definitely seen plenty of photos with Joe Biden wearing those aviators. I don't know if I would ever describe them as his signature sunglasses.
His iconic aviators.
More from the article. President Trump's campaign was dismissive of the stunt. This explains everything. Joe Biden thinks he's campaigning for president of Animal Crossing from his basement. Oh my god, our fucking system is a joke and I'm the punchline.
So do you think Trump's mad because he didn't hop on it first?
Absolutely, he is.
I don't know. I don't get the feeling that Donald Trump plays Animal Crossing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he plays something a lot more nefarious and stupid.
I've definitely.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he released fucking Brutal Doom Donald Trump mods.
I expect to catch Sir Donald in the Modern Warfare lobby every now and again.
Do you not already?
I assume it's just him and his son every time I see a MAGA clan tag.
Scariest part is it's not. Hey, you guys like Left 4 Dead, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Did you hear? Did you hear the news? The good news?
Oh, about Last Stand?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? Jacob, I am proud to inform you.
Sorry, I just read the chat.
I am proud to inform you that after 11 years, we are now getting new Left 4 Dead, official Left 4 Dead 2 content.
There's no new voice work, is there?
We don't.
It's been
know.
many years.
All that we know is that it exists.
Put this on the fucking screen, I guess.
Coming soon, The Last Stand.
I wonder how big this update is going to be, because I've heard that it's supposed to be pretty fucking big, but The Last Stand was literally just...
It was the
It was the very first survival map.
The first survival map, right? So I'm figuring they're going to make like a campaign out of that map now, which could be cool. It has been many years since the infection first hit. Radio silence, no sign of life, nothing but lingering hopes. Sita is not going to save us. But there is hope. A few brave souls have continued the fight against all odds, and soon we can all benefit from their resilience. The Last Stand is an update for Left 4 Dead 2 created by the community for the community. Additional details will be coming soon, and that's all we know about it. The teaser trailer is literally just kind of goes over, like flies over the Last Stand map.
I really hope that they do give us a bit of context. Like, I think it would be very fun to play through a whole campaign and end up at that lighthouse.
I feel like that's what's going to happen, and what I also feel like this is going to be the end of Left 4 Dead.
Definitely a strong possibility. I will never say die on Valve franchises. That is the one thing that I've learned in the last 10 years.
I don't know if it means it's the end of it, like, for good, but it does sound like they're trying to put a definitive, like, we're gonna close the book on this game for now. We're putting Han Solo in Carbonite because we don't know if we're gonna have him back for the next movie, so we're gonna freeze him in Carbonite, and we'll just see how the schedules and the contracts pan out. And if we can do something with Han Solo in the next Star Wars movie, then good, we'll unfreeze him. And if not, then he just died in that Carbonite, and that's what they've done to Left 4 Dead 2. And they didn't even really do it themselves. They got members of the community to do it for them.
Well, if you think about it, that's what they did the last time.
Was Coldstream not like original content? Was that also community made?
Yeah,
Coldstream.
Really?
Yeah. All right.
I did not know that about Coldstream.
No front. How did you play Coldstream and not go, man, this doesn't feel like it was made by someone who knows what they're doing?
I was just fixing to say that Coldstream did feel more... I'm not going to say like it was made by somebody who didn't know what they were doing, but it did feel more stitched together than the other campaigns.
Here is the thing about Coldstream.
I don't want to be an asshole, but I hate Coldstream.
I like it. I actually do
I like it well enough.
Here's the thing about Coldstream, though, is it was community made, but it was made the way it is on purpose. Like every Left 4 Dead campaign always has the same kind of formula, and the whole reasoning behind Coldstream was just to kind of mix it up a little bit. So instead of being okay guys, this is the gas station, everybody hop on the lift, you're just going through Coldstream, and then all of the sudden you see some kind of landmark or something, and a crescendo event happens to you. You do not trigger it. It was made sort of antithetical to how Left 4 Dead is played, in a sense. But I do think that we ended up with a really interesting campaign from it.
That's good. I mean, yeah, honestly, it's been a while since I played Coldstream, but yeah, it's kind of a bitch to play through on I remember it being a bitch to play through solo, just because the AI cannot handle it.
Yeah, no, Coldstream solo is pretty much entirely out of the question.
Yeah, I haven't played it enough on... Like, it's not my favorite map, and I really haven't played it enough co-op to really feel one way or another about it, but I remember thinking it was interesting.
I remember the only reason I bought it back in the day was literally just to get the Left 4 Dead 1 maps.
Was that how that worked? You had to get
Xbox.
it.
Yeah, really? For the Xbox.
It was free on PC, right?
Yeah, Valve's updates. Thank you, Train. Valve's updates are like entirely free on.
It was gonna be free on Xbox on 360 too, but Microsoft told Valve that they couldn't do that because Microsoft didn't like the precedent that Valve was setting. So that's why you had to pay for it on a. That was Valve's way to get around it. You bought Coldstream and then you got the Left 4 Dead 1 maps.
Was Survival was free. I think that was like the only free Left 4 Dead DLC.
That might be where I'm getting confused, because I could have swore I remembered getting the Left 4 Dead 1 maps from a free update on my Xbox 360, but alright, I'll take your word for it. It was so fucking It was so fucking long ago that I probably am misremembering.
Yeah.
But yeah, new Left 4 Dead content. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe we'll get new characters. Maybe we'll get new voice lines. It's all just kind of up in the air at the moment.
I would be extremely interested to see a whole new gaggle of people.
If this is gonna be like a shutting the book on the series for a bit type thing, then I hope they go all out with it. Like, I hope it's not experimental. I hope they go balls to the wall. And like, I hope it's a turn-based RPG this time.
It's a survival crafting. It's gonna be a survival crafting game.
Oh, shut up! That's actually possible. It's not probable, but it is possible, and I hate that you brought it up.
Well, if Left 4 Dead 3 turns out to be a survival crafting game, I will not apologize, but I'll think about it.
It will be your fault. You put the idea in Gabe Newell's head right now. He's hacked into our Discord and is
if that's
writing.
Okay,
he's outside your house right now.
If he was on that train. If that's the case, you shouldn't have made Artifact.
Aw.
Yeah, that was it.
He didn't.
No, he personally sat down one day and made
coded it himself.
It probably when he came up with Artifact, it was probably seemed like a really good idea. He just didn't know that everyone else also had the same idea at the exact same time that he did.
He didn't know because Hearthstone and everything else had been out for a while. It was literally, by the time Artifact came out, it was literally just, oh boy, we get to play Hearthstone again.
I choose to believe that the second Hearthstone came out, Gabe Newell was like, I can make a really interesting spin on the online card-based genre. And the instant he had that idea, so did every other company on the face of the earth.
Look.
And they all released their games at the exact same time.
Look, here's what I'm going to say. Do not play Hearthstone. Do not play Artifact.
Duel Link or whatever the fuck.
Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is legit.
Blizzard is a bad company. Valve, a questionable company. You know who will never hurt you? Konami.
You know, I was actually...
They can't hurt you anymore. They've destroyed themselves.
The carbuncle ate itself. So I was thinking about, back on the first episode, we were talking about how publishers are shit. And I've been thinking since then, it's not that they're great, but they have been doing not bad things recently. Capcom's not been so bad.
Capcom's been pretty decent. Oh well,
if you take Street Fighter V out of the equation,
Jacob. Okay, we're gonna continue down this line of discussion, absolutely. But you have set me up for the perfect fucking segue.
You sure have. You fucking really did. I didn't even think about this until now.
Oh man. Okay, let's continue talking about how Capcom's been doing recently. Capcom's been doing pretty good. Danny, did you ever get around to playing RE3 remake?
Yeah, I did. I like crushed it in like a weekend.
Did you like it?
I did. I actually really liked it. I know that's not a popular onion to have.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just thought that, look, man, the perfect dodge in that game is kind of making my brain melt. Like, it just added so much for me. Like, being able to get the timing of everything down to where you can get so fucking good and speedrun that game so efficiently, like...
Oh, yeah, I'd bet speedruns of that game are really interesting.
You can get so fucking good.
I haven't seen speedruns of Resident Evil 2, actually, but I bet they're out there, and I bet
they're definitely cool. They're definitely out there.
Yeah, that seems like a game that would be really interesting to see speedily run.
Just in
awesomely done quickly.
Strictly how the game plays, I fucking love Resident Evil 3. The story I also like. I don't like a lot of the shit that they cut. Like that's a real ouchie. There's just missing content. But I do think that the game flows good, and for this sort of like reboot almost that Capcom is doing for their older games, it fits alongside Resident Evil 2 really well. And even though I've barely, and I do mean barely, touched Resistance, Resistance looks really interesting and fun.
I've heard like varying,
I've heard
extremely varying opinions on Resistance.
Yeah, I've heard some severely mixed things about Resistance.
Here's my thing: is Resistance is certainly almost something I would never play unless it's with my friends. And even if it's total shit, I could have a good time playing total shit with my friends.
Honestly, the what I've heard of Resistance more than anything is I've heard people say it's crap, it sucks, and I hate it. And other people say it's crap, it sucks, and I still play it and find some enjoyment from it. Which, I don't know. Like, I haven't really heard all that much positive about it, but I have heard that people really enjoy it for what it is. Which, I don't know. I get that.
It's at least
I get
it's not
garbage.
At least not its own. It's not its own game, which I was so deathly afraid of when they announced Resistance.
Oh yeah, when they announced Resistance and they didn't announce RE3 with it, it was kind of just this wave of like, whatever.
Oh fuck, they're at it again.
Oh yeah. My god, no! I can't even describe. Like I like, you know when you're about to throw up and your stomach like drops. I'm not even kidding. When I saw the announcement for Resistance with no other news behind it, I actually felt like I was gonna vomit.
I mean, I just kind of felt like, oh, I'll just keep playing Resident Evil 2 because I think that game is endlessly fun to replay. So,
I mean, same, but the only reason I even felt that way is because I was so teed up by all of this, like Resident Evil 3, like it was teasers at the time. It wasn't even like official.
Had it like, well, the thing about Resident Evil 3 too was that it leaked like a week early, like hard leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything except the trailer, and it was fucking Microsoft who leaked it too, wasn't it?
I do believe so.
Yeah, it was Microsoft. Just kind of dropped all of the information on Resident Evil 3 out of the blue for no real reason. And it kind of sucked because that was supposed to be like, I remember Sony was saying that like they had like an exclusive agreement to announce it during their state of play. But I think what ended up happening was the state of play was going to be on the anniversary of RE3, but it got pushed back a week. And somebody at Xbox must have just not gotten the memo. And they ended up uploading all of the images. It was a super bad look where Microsoft ended up dropping like Sony's big exclusive reveal for their state of play.
Well, that's incredibly possible, but Sony should know better than anybody that Capcom and exclusivity don't exactly have the best of relationships.
Shinji Mikami still has to cut off his own head.
Like, lest we forget, Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be GameCube exclusive.
Like I said, he still has to cut off his own head.
Man, the GameCube was the biggest fucking flop.
Hey,
maybe
be
to
nice
you.
The GameCube was a commercial failure.
I don't give a shit. My favorite things are commercial failures.
Thanks, Josh. It's a nice thing.
I don't think I like a single thing that wasn't a commercial failure. Like I said, some garbage is okay.
Dream
This is my
Macaster.
garbage.
Great, I missed the Sega Dreamcast.
We all do. The Sega Dreamcast was legit.
I want to go back to St. Paul so I can play the Sega Dreamcast.
I want to bypass the parental controls on my Sega Dream. Oh no, there weren't any parental controls. You could just look up porn on the Sega Dreamcast, completely unfiltered.
Yes.
Through its web browser. Those were the days.
The good old days.
I knew I had a buddy who used to do that with the Wii. Because apparently the Wii's internet browser had the same thing.
Well, now you have
there was
two
no
buddies
content
who did
control.
that.
I think you might be the person I was talking about.
Never, I retract my statement.
Oof.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oof. I got to watch porn on the big screen.
You got the motion controls too, yeah.
Oof for somebody else, maybe.
Man, and now we have VR porn.
Before there was VR porn, there was motion controlled porn.
It was extra immersive.
It was super immersive. It wasn't this fake modern day immersion. It was real immersion. I'm just imagining that you go onto your Wii and you watch Wii online browser pornography, and then you load up.
So
you load up fucking.
I was
Wii
looking
Fit,
at
like, we detect
Wii
you took
online browser
10,000
pornography.
steps.
10,000 steps on Wii Fit.
In the
That
past
would be
15
incredible.
minutes.
Man,
You're fucking
if
fit
this
as
was,
fuck.
This is 2010. When did Wii Fit come out? Was that 2010? Was that 2000?
I have no idea.
I think it's 2009 actually. Wii
Also,
Fit.
that joke doesn't make any sense because Wii Fit didn't keep track of how many times. Whatever.
Wii Fit came
was
out
funny
in
in the-
2007. What?
That
I didn't
sounds
wanna
about
say
right.
anything.
It was a launch. It was a launch.
It was not a. Are you serious? I mean, I guess it must have.
It was.
But,
It was one of those like launch adjacent games where it's like it's not going to be out when the console releases, but it's going to be out before too
When
long.
did the fucking Wii come out?
Which is basically what every game of the next
It came
console
out in like
generation is going to
2006.
be.
What the fuck are you talking
Because
about?
they refuse to release the
Wii.
they refuse to delay the console release, but they're delaying every single video game that's coming out on the consoles.
The Wii did not release in 2012. You get that shit out of my face.
No, it released in 2006, right?
Yeah, I was
That's
trying
what
to
I
find
said.
the month.
Oh, the month?
November. It was like
Yeah.
right before Christmas, basically.
It's always right before Christmas.
You right.
You didn't need to look that up. All you needed was the year.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't hear you say 2006 the first time.
Well, that's fair.
Bitch.
So those, speaking of Capcom, that playthrough me and you did, Jacob, of RE7, that's vanished into the ether, correct?
Okay. So as for what you're asking, I have not gotten rid of it.
Here, I can actually answer somewhere. For Jacob. Yes.
All right,
no,
Jacob.
It exists. It exists.
It's on a hard drive in his office. He's probably looking at the hard drive right now.
He's probably deleting the playthrough right now.
Yeah, he's actively putting it into the ether, which is why I said yes.
Why do you ask?
Just because we're talking about how, and really when we say Capcom's doing well, it's not really Capcom that's doing well, it's Resident Evil that's doing really well. But I digress. What I was going to say was that playthrough is so interesting for me because that playthrough, I was not interested in RE7 in like the slightest leading up to it.
Oh, is this like where it's essentially for this one magical moment you and I swapped roles?
A little bit. Well, because so like before RE7 came out, first of all, I didn't really enjoy that VR, like what was it called? The game, the teaser game they released.
Oh,
it was
the demo.
That
basically.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a demo. It was kind of like it was adjacent to that opening scene in the not mansion before you got to the mansion.
The guest house.
Right.
The guest house, yes. What was that demo called?
You're talking about the VR demo? You're talking about the one where you're in the padded cell or whatever?
No, he's talking about
not the VR one.
It's called Beginning Hour.
Beginning Hour, yeah. I remember playing through that and I was just like, I don't know, man. It seems like they're really trying to be PT right now. Was what I felt when I played through that.
Here's the thing about after. Well, I'll let you finish and then I'll come back to this because I do want to talk about the demo a little bit.
Okay, all right, but not only that, I just didn't have any faith in Capcom being able to make a good game at that point. Because I don't know if you remember, but before RE7 came out, do you know what came out like 4 or 5 months before RE7 came out?
Umbrella Corps?
Umbrella Corps. And Umbrella Corps is like the absolute worst video game ever made.
It's really bad, but I love to play it.
It's really bad.
Here's where I lucked out. So I played Resident Evil 4, and then Resident Evil 5 came out, and I just never bothered. And then Resident Evil... Something like other Resident Evil shit happened. I don't have the exact timeline, but the major things I remember is Resident Evil 5 came out, and I just never really bothered to try it. Then 6 came out, and everyone was like...
Except this Halloween when we make you play through it with us.
Yeah. And then 6 came out, and everyone was like... Everyone that I knew was like, wow, this is kind of dog shit. And I was like, oh, alright, well, I don't care anyways, because I never played 5. And then I never played Beginning Hour, but when I saw it, like when I saw gameplay for it, I was like, huh, it's first person now. I like first person horror. And that was the entire reason I played it.
You see... I had the exact opposite reason because I
Thank you, Danny.
Didn't really care for the first person angle all that much. Sorry, I'm coughing now. But yeah, I kind of saw it was first person and you were just kind of walking around a house and like spooky stuff was popping out and I was like, this doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game to me anymore. It feels like it's just kind of chasing trends and it doesn't really respect what made those games enjoyable. Because I still think, dude, I played, not like a year ago, I played Resident Evil 1. I'm not saying, I didn't play Remake. I played Resident Evil 1 on my
PS1.
PlayStation 3. I played Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. And it's still fun. It's still a good game. It's jank as all get out, but... it's still a fun game.
Oh no, totally. You played it with the shitty music too. That's great.
Yep. Yes, I did. But so I wasn't excited going into Resident Evil 7 at all, but then I played it over at Jacob's house for that video, and like during the opening segments, I'm still kind of like down on it. And I'm like, it's not for me, because the basement segment is really cool in hindsight. I really like that opening segment. But it's just kind of, it didn't sell me on the game. And then I got into the mansion, and then, I started exploring the mansion, and I was like, wait a minute, this is really enjoyable, and it feels like a Resident Evil game, but it feels like a new Resident Evil game. It doesn't feel like, it feels like it really, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna double back.
It feels
really
like
a new what those games did, but moves it forward in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it feels like totally. A new Resident Evil game that understands what made the old ones good without being weighed down by the insurmountable avalanche of shit that also came out of the franchise.
And see, here's going back to the beginning hour. I fucking have, because I went back and finally played it to get the coin, just to have an extra coin to use in Resident Evil 7.
Mm-hmm.
But after having pretty much the entirely the same experience that you had, Josh, like this feels like PT, this ghost girl just keeps popping up here and there. Like, this is fucking stupid.
Exactly. It just felt like, they saw PT and they thought, well, we have a horror franchise, and PT was popular.
Right. And then,
unlike us, they can't make any money.
And then after playing that demo I went like completely off the fucking radar in terms of like game news, fucking anything like that. Trailers, gameplay footage, whatever. Resident Evil 7 comes out at like the ending part of my senior year in high school, and I got a chance to play it, and holy shit, like the amount of misdirection and subversion that demo uses to create an expectation for you when you finally get to the game that just isn't there. But going back after playing the game and playing that demo and seeing bits and pieces of Resident Evil 7's story from a different angle is so fucking cool.
No, I do. I get the appreciation for that, like, because it all took place from the perspective of one of the camera guys. Right? Wasn't that the deal?
Clancy.
Was that it was one of? Yeah, it was Clancy.
Clancy doesn't deserve what happened to Clancy.
I appreciate that, but like at the same time, it didn't sell me on the game. And like, I get respecting it in hindsight, but like at the time, I was super not like interested.
No, and I'm totally with you.
And
there.
any goodwill it could have created in me about the quality of that game was immediately ruined when they released fucking Umbrella Corps, like right before that game came out. I mean, they released that game was terrible. You think these guys don't know what the fuck they are doing?
No, totally. I'm not disagreeing with you.
And you have no reason to believe that they know what the fuck they're doing, because they haven't known what the fuck they were doing for the past like decade.
Yeah, no, for real. Because like before Umbrella Corps even happened, we have Resident Evil 6, Operation Raccoon City, some of the fucking other spin-off games that they did in between 5 and fucking Operation Raccoon City.
Operation Raccoon City's hilarious, though.
It's really fun to play with your friends, but it's objectively a shit game.
It is not a good game. I feel similarly.
Look, all I'm saying is one of my absolute favorite memories of of me, you, and James hanging out together, Josh, is watching James get his shit kicked in by 2 Mr. X's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Operation Raccoon City will create lasting lifetime bonds. For example,
the old penis size trick.
Yeah, Jacob knows where I'm going with this. Me and Jacob know this absolute madman in the army who we met only because one day my buddy invited me to a party because fucking Operation Raccoon City had just come out, and we were both stupid enough to fucking buy it.
I can't imagine having an Operation Raccoon City party.
Well, it was like an Xbox Live like party.
Oh, okay. I thought you had an actual party.
Hold on, I'm not that sad of a human being.
And you were having like a fucking kegger.
I'm not that sad of a human being.
Operation Raccoon City came out.
No, my friend Sean invites me to this Xbox Live party, and this goddamn madman named Victory Boss is in there. And
I think I remember Victory Boss.
Oh, he's such a good man. I love you, Raul. I know you're not listening to this, but I love you.
He wouldn't dare.
Continue.
But yeah, we're just sitting there, and I'm talking to my buddy Sean, and this fucking Raul out of nowhere, he was playing a Spectre, so he fucking goes and he uses his like special ability. He like flips the nods down. He's like, "Oh, we gotta get through here," and he flips his nods down. He's like, "The old penis size trick, eh? Works like a charm."
Yeah, that was so. Now, not that I think you remember, but now you know where what the fuck I was talking about when me, you, and James sat down for that playthrough. Because as soon as we got to Spectre, that memory came flooding back, and I brought it up, and James and Josh looked at me like I was a fucking psychopath.
These things happen.
So do you guys?
So we looked at you like we always look at you.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, every minute, every second.
Yeah. Do you guys think Umbrella Corps was just more expectation subversion?
No,
absolutely not. Even if it is, like, even if it truly was, Capcom did not have the clout to do that at that time. Like, they didn't.
Yeah, absolutely not.
They did not have the ability to be like, ooh, check out this shitty game. We're releasing a big name game soon. Ooh, I wonder if that one's gonna be bad. Like, no, dude. Listen, Capcom, you've released like 17 bad games in a row. You can't do this and then drop a really good game.
Look, I get that some people really, really like that game, but like the best game that they had released in the past decade at that point was DMC Devil May Cry. And again, I get that some people really like that game, and I still don't think it's a bad game per se, but it is not your star
release
material.
Umbrella Corps levels of cloud.
Exactly. It's not fucking release Virgil's Downfall clout. But yeah, I did want to move on from RE7. Talk about how RE8 looks pretty damn good too now, which I'm really excited that they're kind of like. Happening. Yeah, actually, they just announced that they're going to be showing off some more stuff for it at like the digital Tokyo Game Show they're having later this month.
I will not be watching it.
That's unfortunate. I'll be sure to spoil whatever happens. And not let you go into this completely blind like you want.
That's fine.
Out of spite.
That's fine.
But yeah, no, I was really like happy to see that it seems like RE8 is kind of doing. They're like, all right, let's keep that ball rolling and really explore what we can do with a Resident Evil game, because now it's like werewolves and vampires and shit. But at the same time, it's kind of going back now because now you have like a real ass manor and like a city surrounding it.
Yeah,
so it's kind of going back to that gothic core
aesthetic
that the first game kind of sort of had.
in seeing how they mix elements from like 7 kind of flips Resident Evil elements on its head just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Purely from just a like changed perspective, but I'm interested to see how they incorporate like the currency from 4 and the exploration from 4, because that is a little bit different.
It does. I mean, like I don't know if I can find the screenshot in time, but they did release that video that kind of went over some of the stuff in it, and the attaché case is back finally, making its triumphant return. And I fucking love the attaché case.
I mean, if you want to get super technical, the attaché case was in 7. It just wasn't the attaché case.
I mean, it wasn't really. It was. There are a few blocks. Some blocks are 2. Other blocks are 1. It wasn't
the attaché case, but it was the attaché case we have at home.
It was a very.
We have attaché case at home.
But the only real thing that like layout had was that most items are 1, but some items are big and they are 2. And you never really had to fit stuff into the attaché case properly. It was just kind of an item limit with
extra steps. Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, with an extra step. But attaché case proper appears to be back, which I am super down for, and also currency. So yeah, I think it looks really neat so far. I hope that they don't just abandon zombies though. I'm not sure how I'll feel about just fighting these werewolf guys. I kind of hope they go werewolves. Like let's go back to like traditional ass zombies, you know?
I hope there's variety. I really hope that there's variety. I hope that it's not
because that's something that RE7 really didn't have was enemy variety.
Here's the thing, right? Is the 3 different enemy types
good enemy variety.
The 3 different enemy types work well enough. But if they just take those 3 different enemy types and make it a werewolf, a vampire, and a something else, I don't know if I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't know if I'm okay with just playing Resident Evil 7 again, but larger with new paint. I really hope that is not the scenario.
Watching that footage and just what they showed off, it really doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. I couldn't cite specific parts, but I don't really get that feeling from it. It feels like it's going to be something more unique. But also, I didn't really feel like RE7 had too terribly much like a great source of enemy variety to begin with. There was the fat one, there was the regular zombie, there was the fat one that threw up, and then there was the one that crawled, and they all kind of just looked the same.
Mm-hmm. Wrong,
which was unfortunate.
There was the regular one with the big fuck off arm that could kill you in 2 hits.
Yeah, there was the charger.
The charger shows up in the base game. The charger shows up like almost next to nil, so it's almost not worth mentioning.
He shows up. I feel like he showed up.
I feel like we played 2 different games then.
The one with the big prototype arm?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely in the base game, but it's like a couple of them towards the end. Like,
what the fuck are you talking about? He's like the second, like the third enemy you fight.
One of them
outside of the farmer man. He comes out of the morgue thing.
Yeah. The Bakers really held that game up in terms of enemy variety, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, they had very good personality. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll go back and replay Resident Evil 7 in like 3 seconds, and
I'll tell you what's happening, Danny, is that those enemies are so similar to the regular enemies that you're forgetting there were even different ones.
Here's the thing: is I know they existed.
Because literally the only difference is that one has a big fuck off arm.
No, I know that they have a big fuck off arm, but in my mind they don't show up until like towards the end of the game. Like I only really remember seeing them. You are right. One of them does show up in the morgue, but I only really remember them in the fucking on the ship. Like I really only remember them on the ship and in the mines.
The very third molded that you fight is one of them, and then when you when you have to come back to the mansion to get the shit so you can go to Lucas's area, they're like most of the enemies you encounter then are those ones.
And you know what? Here's my fucking point right here, is I don't want to be playing Resident Evil 8 and have this discussion, but about werewolves. I want the werewolves that I fight in Resident Evil 8 to have enough of a personality to where I can go, that's fucking John and that's Taylor. Like, these are 2 different...
See, I'm completely different. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I'm just upset that I gotta play Ethan again. I don't like him.
Before we start with that, I agree, Danny, somewhat. That I want them to be different enough and to really add variety to the game, but at the same time, I kind of feel like the fact that this one is a werewolf already adds more variety, just visually this time around. Whereas in Resident Evil 7, it's like this is a molded, and this one is a faster molded, but he crawls. And this one is fat, and it's like this one's a werewolf, this one's a vampire, this one's a zombie.
And
you're already adding
I get that
visual flair.
My biggest thing too is I want each enemy type in Resident Evil 8 to have some varying attack patterns too, because the biggest thing I noticed about the molded, like all of them, is they have like 3 fucking attacks, which fits in well enough with the lore behind the black mold like infection. Like, yeah, I can't imagine that a human being who's been completely taken over by a black fungus has too much rattling around up there.
I guess I didn't really care enough about the story of Resident Evil 7 to get like deep into the lore, but
man, I like how we all played this game very differently.
Very differently.
Yeah, very differently.
What's a dream like spin-off Resident Evil game for you? Because I have
a dream spin-off Resident Evil game.
I have an answer for this.
All right, what's your answer?
My answer is a VR Blue Umbrella game. I don't know if you've played the Not a Hero DLC.
Just play the Not a Hero DLC.
Well, no, but I want that to be like a full-fledged like game.
I really do not.
I don't know. I think
actually, you know what? That's funny. It's funny you should mention that, and it's funny that Jacob mentions that we played these games very differently, because I don't know if I actually just remembered that I did play through the Not a Hero DLC, and I very much did not like it, and I played through it in VR at Jacob's house, and we had very different opinions on the Not a Hero DLC.
Oh, that's a shame.
I thought it was kind of boring.
I don't know.
It wasn't as good as base RE7. I don't know. I don't know that I could take a whole game of it, because why? I mean, if you make that into an entire game, then it's Resident Evil in title.
Well, it's like a spin-off. It's not like main series. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like because it's of like, if you strictly make it like a VR title, like going into the mindset where it's like Not a Hero but just longer, I feel like.
So
I don't know.
You want to know something? If you wanted to ask me what my dream Resident Evil spin-off game would be, it would be, all right, all right, so you are a cleaner for Umbrella, and you're going into Raccoon City, and you're playing through the background of... So what I'm saying is I just want Operation Raccoon City, but good.
Mine would be...
that's perfectly acceptable,
Dead Rising
Josh.
2. Mine would be a Dead Rising 2 off-the-record type deal, where it's just RE7, but the main character is Clancy instead of Ethan.
I thought you were going to say it's Resident Evil, but Wesker was the good guy all along, and Jill
this is my vacation.
And Chris were all crazy.
No, that would be fucking stupid.
I want Resident Evil 4, but it's an off-the-record type deal where you play as Brad.
I want to play as Mike.
I'll play as Mike.
He knew a good bar.
Mike knew a good bar.
Rest in power, Mike. He knew a good bar.
So, Danny, did you have topics? Or did you get to them and I wasn't paying attention?
One of my topics was cheating. There's Josh's. But just real quick, one of my topics was definitely a cheat, and I just put the list of games coming out this month in the chat.
Okay,
the other one I have is that Tesla video game thing I was talking about, but Josh just shared the Resident Evil Netflix.
So without further ado, I feel like we should get right into this. When the Wesker kids move to New Raccoon City, the secrets they uncover might just be the end of everything. Resident Evil, a new live-action series based on Capcom's legendary survival horror franchise, is coming to Netflix. And that, by the way, is from Netflix official. That is real. That is not a shitpost. That is actually the premise for the live-action Netflix Resident Evil series that is coming out.
That is true. I think Jacob's brain just fucking exploded.
No. Hang on. This is going somewhere. You'll understand that I obviously didn't have this to hand.
Well, okay.
I had to find this again because why the fuck would I want this near me?
Purely...
Are these the Wesker kids? Is this what Netflix is doing?
They do it to themselves, man. It's so it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Hey, I got a question for all you people up at Netflix.
Do you have any self-respect?
I'm posting the I'm posting apparently this actually kind of sort of leaked a few months ago, but it was that kind of thing that everyone thought it was fake because of how stupid it sounded, and then it turned out to be real. But the plot summary has dropped, courtesy of Nibelian, who's a pretty popular hacker man, leak person. Anytime he says something, I always hear about it. And it's like, there's a new Silent Hill coming out, Nibelian said it. And I'm like, I don't believe him, even if he's been right in the past. But, according to his leak, the Netflix series will tell its new story across 2 timelines. In the first, 14-year-old sisters Jade and Billy Wesker are moved to New Raccoon City, a manufactured corporate town, forced on them right as adolescence is in full swing.
Oh, this is Resident Evil Youngblood?
But the more time they spend there, the more they come to realize that the town is more than it seems, and their father may be concealing dark secrets. Secrets that could destroy the world. The second series, or the second part, more than a decade into the future, sees less than 15 million people left on Earth and more than 6 billion monsters, people and animals infected with the T-virus. Jade, now 30, struggles to survive in this new world, while the secrets from her past about her sister, her father, and herself continue to haunt her.
What do you mean Jade, now 30, struggles to survive? You've made it to 30. At some point, you've got to figure out how to stop struggling and start surviving.
Let's fucking go. This is again. Time is a flat circle. Time is a flat fucking circle.
It's just like the Terminator told us. It's cyclical.
All these squares make a circle.
But it's so blatant. I mean, it's just Resident Evil, Stranger Things into Resident Evil Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, it's that.
And it's like,
Man, it's a great fucking thing that I don't watch anything.
Here's the thing:
I'm absolutely not going to watch this either. But just the fact that it exists.
This is so non-canon. Like it's like, what is even the fucking point?
Wasn't the Netflix Witcher series really successful?
Well, the difference is really the Netflix Witcher series. Because Sabrina and Eric actually just got done watching the first season, and I caught bits and pieces here and there, and it's really fucking good. It's well made.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
By people that know what the fuck they're doing and have context for the series that they're drawing inspiration from.
Yeah, people who gave a shit about the series. Why then did they not think, okay, that series was good and it did well and people liked it a whole lot. and we've got a whole bunch of good publicity for this. Let's try to get people who give a shit about Resident Evil to make our Resident Evil series. And the Castlevania series was also really good, and it was done by people who gave a shit.
Here's the problem, right? Is this show coming out? It could end up being...
It's supposed to be.
It could end up being, like, really well directed and shot and acted. I'm just not going to enjoy it for most of the time because literally they're just taking things that I like and just putting it in something completely irrelevant.
Exactly.
I mean, it's being directed.
Exactly.
It's being directed by fucking Vince Gilligan, for fuck's sake. Like,
I was fixing to say, I knew that it had like a director attached to at least the first 2 episodes, and it was someone of repute. But like, I just don't understand. Like, we're back to fucking. This is the Super Mario movie levels of missing the fucking point.
Yes, entirely.
Like, it's just, we had these 2 really good Netflix adaptations of video games that were well liked, and they did well, and it was I think it's pretty apparent why people enjoyed them, because they were at least respectful to the source material.
They're literally 1 letter away and a different gender from being at least 1% canon. What, like,
yeah, you're right. I see it.
There is 1 canonical, like 100% canonical Wesker child.
What the fuck is his name?
Jake.
It's
Jake.
Oh yeah, it is Jake. Here's the thing. I don't think that's intentional.
It's probably not intentional.
It's super not
It's
intentional.
not that I want to. Actually, that's a flat out lie. I'm the only person in the world that cares about what Jake Wesker is doing at this moment. Why did he get introduced? What is his purpose? Why is he back in Africa fighting?
Because Wesker fucks.
The fucking bad juju.
Yes. Because Wesker is the only person in the Resident Evil universe, besides Barry, obviously, that fucks.
Only villains fuck.
Look, after Chris finishes his long discussion with Leon, he will disagree with you. There will be 3 people who have fucked. The Redfield bloodline must continue.
Ethan fucked, and you saw what happened. You saw what happened to him.
You think that's what Resident Evil 8's going to be about?
Sorry, Ethan, you fucked. You're out of the circle.
Well,
sorry, Ethan. The Redfield bloodline.
Yeah, to expand on what Jacob was saying, the only reason Mia got killed is because Ethan fucked Mia and not Claire. I'm sorry, Ethan.
Going back to what Jacob said about Resident Evil 8, I also kind of am disappointed that we're continuing this stuff with Ethan. I just kind of thought he was boring. And honestly, when I was thinking about it, I think I would have cared, given a shit more, if it was just some random guy whose wife got murdered by Chris. But knowing that it was Ethan and knowing that it was Mia who got shot, let's be real, she probably did something to deserve it.
That's gonna be my biggest, aside from everything that's in Resident Evil 8, figuring out why Mia got is going to be really interesting, because I can't imagine that it was just because she did an eco-terrorism a couple of years ago. I imagine she did some more eco-terrorism.
Yeah, she never really apologized for the eco-terrorism either.
Maybe that's why. She just didn't have a good apology letter, so Blue Umbrella was like, nah.
Well, I mean, at the end of Resident Evil 7, like, they evacuated Mia and Ethan, and then the rest of, end of Zoe and...
Oh, I haven't played End of Zoe. Do they, like...
Well, yeah, no, the rest of that is Blue Umbrella is still at the goddamn mansion figuring out what happened.
Yeah, I know. That's always been... I always thought that was kind of cool, just hearing that.
So it's not like when they airlifted him out, they connected all the dots then and there. It's like, eco-terrorist lady, you've learned your lesson.
Well, it doesn't even feel like Ethan was ever really upset that his wife lied to him about the eco-terrorism.
Well, see, and that just goes back to why Ethan fucking sucks, because he's one of the most blandest people I have ever had the displeasure of having to pilot around a hallway.
Do we have anything more to talk about the Netflix series? Because the Netflix series is incredible. It's so baffling that this is happening.
My biggest thing about this is it's happening whether I want it to or not. I'll watch it when it comes out. I'll watch the first 2 episodes at least, because I know they're going to be directed by Vince Gilligan, and as I'm watching them, if I feel like they're not up to snuff, I can always just turn it the fuck off.
I don't know. I don't see any, like, with the premise being that bad, I don't see any way that I'll find any enjoyment with discovering when the Wesker kids, what those rowdy Wesker boys are doing this episode.
Yeah,
I don't care who directs it. Like,
I don't know. I hear that. I'll probably watch it, form an opinion on it. If I like it, I'll probably keep watching it. And if it ends up where I think it's going to end up, which is just a Youngblood 2 Electric Boogaloo, then yeah, it's going there.
It seems like the second part is only focused on Jade, though, and that Billy is either being held captive by Alex Wesker, or... Oh no, wait, there is an Alex Wesker. I forgot.
Who the fuck is Alex Wesker?
Wasn't Alex Wesker the... Or it's like
Lady
Alexa
Wesker?
Wesker.
No, it's Alex.
Isn't
Resident Evil
Alex
Revelations
Wesker
2.
Yeah, isn't he or she the... Yeah, Alex Wesker is the lady from Revelations 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's why I'm not in the know.
Which is astonishing.
It is, the Revelations games are like the only Resident Evil games I've never played.
Me and Jacob played through Revelations 2. He liked it a whole lot. I was indifferent to it.
I started Resident Evil Revelations 1 like a fucking real long while ago and just never picked it back up.
Those were the games that started the weird trend that reemerged in Resident Evil 3 that I don't like, which is that weird, like, stumbly dodge.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I know what you mean.
I've never enjoyed doing it.
I know what you mean. But in Resident Evil 3,
it doesn't feel good to do. I'm not gonna let you lie to me and say that it does.
No.
The perfect dodge feels good.
Yes. The stumbly dodge sucks, but the stumbly dodge is only there so that you can get the timing for the perfect dodge in Resident Evil 3.
Honestly, I kind of prefer OG Resident Evil 3's system of where if you aim at exactly the right moment, you dodge. That just felt better.
I mean, maybe.
Stumbly dodge just feels like a waste of a button.
Well,
Just gotta learn frames.
are you telling Josh he has to learn frames?
Yeah, that's why it's extra
You
funny.
fucking serious?
That's why it's extra funny.
All right. So does anybody have anything else actually real, or you guys getting ready to wrap?
I probably had something, but
I have my Tesla thing. I'll link that, and then we can basically be
We're
done.
50.
we talked about
I don't imagine we'll have too much to say about this.
what's the Tesla thing? Looks to hire to develop car video. Oh, all right.
Tesla is just actively seeking out people.
So Elon Musk wants to make Forza now, is what you're telling me.
No, he's specifically just seeking people to make video games, quote, infotainment. I don't know if that means it'll be video games about the company Tesla.
If somebody needs to have Elon Musk fucking sectioned.
Certainly, but it's not going to be me.
I mean, whatever happened to that one game that Amazon made? That one shooter
It was
that they released.
a
And it was so bad.
It was a complete flop, and they're not letting it stop them because they're actually about to relaunch their Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime into Amazon Gaming and have their own storefront or something, like some stupid shit.
I know they've been trying to get that off the ground for like 4 years now or something, but it just... I don't know.
But yeah,
I just can't take them seriously.
All I really wanted to say about this stupid Tesla article is it's so fucking dumb. The fact that Tesla is looking into developing video game software for their fucking cars before looking into the actual real fucking problems that Tesla... Granted, yes, I'm sure they are actually looking into the real problems that Teslas have, but Teslas are, like, notoriously shit.
I don't believe that last thing you said. Not the last thing, but the thing before the last thing.
That they're actually looking into it, or...
Yeah. I don't believe
I mean, I'd like to imagine...
The way I understand it is anytime somebody that works at Tesla says... Mr. Musk, we need to. He goes, no, we don't. We need to do this.
I thought they put them in the way that, like the rocket
Tesla
silos during the launch.
They just put dissenting employees into the Tesla rocket?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
That's what fueled SpaceX.
Oh, okay.
They grind them up and they turn them into fuel.
Well,
I believe that. He is a Bond villain after all.
He's not a Bond villain. He's a Doom villain.
Well,
he's trying to create hell on Mars.
If what you
he's
say
like
is
fucking
true,
Lex Luthor with hair.
If what you say is true, and he's really doing that to the Tesla employees, in this modern day landscape, there's only one thing that we can truly do to save them.
If you share a picture of fucking Captain Planet, okay. Basically Captain Planet.
Oh yeah, I guess you've got a point. If he was using employees as fuel, then the American government would actually step in and stop him.
In theory. Let's say, hypothetically, I was taking Tesla employees and using them as rocket fuel.
Now the Ben Shapiro fans are going to come after us too.
They're already going to come after us.
Fans are going to come after us.
From the One Angry Gamer fans and the completely different
subsect
of Ben Shapiro fans.
The Ben Shapiro guys were coming after us from like day one.
Let's say, hypothetically.
Yeah, but now there's going to be more.
Let's say, hypothetically, I am God. What then? That's Ben Shapiro. That's the extent of what I know about Ben Shapiro.
Let's say, hypothetically, I have never made my wife come. What then? What happens then? Alright? Is she going to divorce me? No.
It's such a good fucking post he made. I get so much enjoyment over I've never just admitting on Twitter that he's never made his wife come.
Oh,
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
Is that us then? Are we good?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's about a wrap.
Alright. Well, thanks everybody for listening to this week's episode of Practical Nonsense. If you enjoyed it, check us out on YouTube, where you can see everything that we post in our Discord chat, which will help you find all the links to the articles and stuff that we shared and talked about during the episode. Get us wherever you get your podcasts. I think we're on Anchor, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public at the moment. And yeah, that's it. That's all I had as a wrap. So, thanks for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Okay, should I stop my Audacity now?